Hi everybody, Lexxx and Stereo here, and I am actually with this guy.
Hi, I'm Graham from Crystal Street.
A lot of you watch a lot of our other videos, and that would be my profile. A lot of you watch both of our videos, and so you knew that I was going to be up here and recording, so...
At the good place.
At the good place, yes. Yes, you'll notice that I actually have, like, a background, and, I look like I'm doing something. This video, I wanted to kind of bring him in because we rant about things like this quite a bit, more than I think any human being should. Well, no, I shouldn't say that. Because
no, debates like this should always take place. Always.
Tannen couldn't be here tonight. I think he had to go be responsible in the real world or something.
I always expect when he's not around that he's out doing something sinister.
Oh, right.
Because he always has money and he doesn't work a real job.
Yeah.
So, I always assume sinister things when it comes to Tannen.
Well, it's a fair assumption. I mean, legitimately, he's the one most likely to be Batman. I mean,
yeah.
let's be honest here.
Yeah.
Those of you who watch my videos probably noticed that I don't have any hair. I cut it all off. I got bored. It happens frequently. We're just gonna move on.
She looks good.
This video, and I gotta quit fidgeting, but this video we're going to talk about, I don't know, how would you put it, like, impractical and, like, ridiculous female costumes?
Yeah, that's probably the best way to put it. The impractical. Now, I want to preface that with saying that most superhero costumes are impractical, and that's a given. Most of them are spandex and don't make a lot of sense. But female costumes...
There's a whole lot of stupid going on there.
Yeah. And I mean, it's a bit hypocritical maybe for me to talk about this because I do enjoy a sexy superhero costume, but...
I'm in a Harley dress and my boobs are hiked up to my neck. I enjoy a sexy superhero costume.
But there is that other part of my brain that goes, that's stupid. Why would you do that? So that's where this list came from. It's mostly, that's stupid.
And there's going to be a couple that I'm going to talk about at the end of the list, like why they weren't on the list.
Yeah.
Because I know there's going to be at least one that's going to surprise a lot of you.
There's going to be several that probably will surprise you that are not on the list.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we have reasons. But the first one we're going to talk about, and we kind of lump these two together, is Catwoman and Black Cat. And it's there's a couple of things here. First of all, high heels. Any superhero that wears any iteration of heels needs to just stop. There is no way that you can do... I mean, like I was a ballroom dancer, and I've known many a stripper. I have been known to dance on things like that. I've done acrobatics. It is not easy in heels, and some of these heels that these ladies are wearing, there's no way. There is no feasible way.
No. And Black Cat and Catwoman are definitely two of the biggest offenders of the heel wearing, because they're almost always a stiletto style heel.
Yeah, nobody is doing anything in a stiletto. Let's be honest here. You might stand there and hold the whip, and that's about all you're going to do.
Yeah.
You're certainly not moving fast, and you're not leaping around on tall buildings.
No.
And, let's be honest here, their boobs would just fall right out of the top of their costume.
Yes, both of them wear, depending on who's drawing them and what time we're talking about, Black Cat has always been this way. Black Cat I have never understood how the boobs stay in place in any costume I've ever seen her in.
Double-sided tape.
Yeah, except for maybe the Ultimate Universe. I think she was a little more practical in that. But when we're talking Catwoman, we are talking the more recent New 52, Arkham Asylum Catwoman outfit, where she wears she unzips it way too far, and they're half hanging out. I mean, it would take a good breeze, and they should just flop out, because neither of them wear a bra under it. So...
Well, they couldn't. There's not enough fabric there.
No, it is why we haven't seen more titty in these comic books. I'm baffled by.
I know. We need to start writing them about that.
I know.
We need
more titties in comic books.
This is the kind of conversations we have. Sorry, guys. No, you know what? No, I'm not sorry. Wonder Woman. I mean...
Yeah, number 2, Wonder Woman, and... I think this one kind of got put there because Wonder Woman is seen really as a feminist icon, and she has a lot of great morals for women, and that's fantastic. She wears a one-piece bathing suit.
No, she basically wears a corset, hikes her boobs up to her chest in a very, very short skirt.
Usually in a heel. And she's supposed to be a warrior.
An Amazon warrior at that.
And it's like, they forgot that people wear armor.
Yeah.
You know, do we need to cover maybe the neck? You know, the heart? Any of that?
Any of her vital organs?
No, apparently not. We're just going to go ahead and leave that uncovered.
No, and I don't think that she has some of the same things that, like, Emma Frost has, where she, you know, is bulletproof. I know that she is able to... Her lasso makes people tell the truth.
And she's more durable, and I mean, depending again on when you're reading her, she's almost as durable as Superman. Yeah. So there's maybe a sense that you don't need armor, but some of the things she fights, she would legitimately need armor, and her outfit provides none of it. No,
and it's very hard for me to take a lot of this very feminist, like, you know, pro women's rights stance seriously when you look back in the history. And I'm saying this with all the love in my heart because, again, we are talking about comics here. We are talking about a universe that is notoriously
male-driven.
Male-driven and shady here. Let's be honest here. You know, it's you know, you're not seeing... It's been up until fairly recently, you wouldn't see a whole lot of women in these kind of positions anyway. So Wonder Woman, having held this position for as long as she has, is I mean, gotta give it props there. But she has one of the most traditionally feminine superhero outfits out there.
Yeah.
And she... I don't know, it's hard to reconcile that dichotomy. And then when the fans flipped their shit over the changing of the uniform when they released stuff for the movie, like...
Well, that was the TV show that really drove... And that was when she redid her look into more of a jacket and vest. She was basically mostly clothed from head to toe. And it looked... I always thought the look looked really good, and it made more sense for Wonder Woman. And so I was a little... Well, I expect that kind of blowback from the male audience. Mm-hmm. I didn't expect it as much from the feminist side, which there was a lot of blowback when that costume came out, and I never understood that.
People tend to associate branding and colors and you know... I don't know, but I mean, I thought it was probably one of the best things they could have done was to change up Wonder Woman's outfit. I mean, girl is still wearing the same thing she wore in the 50s.
It's my favorite costume to use in Injustice the few times that I play Wonder Woman. That's actually my favorite one is that issue 400 look. So, again, I'm kind of sad they went away from that. It was a good look, and they went away from it too soon.
Yeah. Next one I want to talk about is Huntress. Oh, Huntress.
This is probably my number one of impractical costumes.
Yeah. No, we kind of made these in random order just as we were talking about them. And on the tail end of Wonder Woman, Huntress, he just blurted it out. Like, I could tell he's very passionate about this one.
This one just is one of the ones that makes me scratch my head. Because, again, you've got ridiculous heels and boots, which, I mean, a lot of these are going to have anyways. So, moving past that, it's this exceptionally just skimpy look. Because it's a one-piece, because it goes over the shoulder, it's a full one-piece with the midriff cut out of it. And in some of them, some versions it's just a midriff and she's got like a tank top, and then other versions it's connected around the midriff. But this is, my issue with Huntress is she's a non-superpowered superhero. Yeah. She's Batman family. So, even assuming if you suspend your disbelief, and the spandex is bulletproof, which you did with Batman for a long time. For a long time, it did not look armored, but it was bulletproof. Yeah. So let's assume that Huntress wears the same stuff and that it's bulletproof. She's exposing most of her vitals. It makes no damn sense.
And she's Bat family, so she's got to be freaking smarter than that.
Yeah. Because Batgirl recently went with, the new really, really ultra practical costume.
So happy with that costume.
But even in the past, she's been covered head to toe. She has never had anything exposed. And so Huntress's look
she still managed to be sexy as all hell.
Yeah, without exposing any skin except for the face. So Huntress's look has just never made any sense to me. Especially for the Bat family. Again, when I think the Bat family, that practicality is key in that.
When was Huntress born? Like when did she come about? Was she in the 80s?
I want to say she's a creation of the 80s, early 90s. I'm not exactly sure.
Yeah, but I mean, if she came around in the time of like hair bands and video vixens and things like that, like I can kind of see maybe where the art was conceptualized, but still, you've changed so much about the DC universe and these characters. Put the impractical costume to bed. Give the woman something that will protect her vital organs.
And I actually, let me preface that. I haven't seen her new 52 costume, and I think it might be more practical now, because I know they paired her and Power Girl in The World's Finest, and I haven't seen her new outfit. It may be practical now. I think they maybe have fixed it, but we're kind of talking about the introduction up until very, very recently, Huntress.
The Invisible Woman. Yeah. Again,
now here we are talking one specific look of Invisible Woman.
Yeah.
Because for the most part, she has been a standard bearer for female superhero costumes. It is. But
this one just...
No, I'm thinking this was from the 80s, early 90s, and it was just... It's
the one-piece swimsuit looking like...
One-piece swimsuit with the 4 that exposed her cleavage. It's a terrible costume, and I've seen the image. I've only seen one image of it, so I hope to God it was just like a one-off costume. But it is one of the worst redesigns of a costume I've ever seen. It's terrible.
Yeah. And, we got to rag on my girl here. Early New 52 Harley. The way that they changed Harley's... Now... For those of you who've read the things that I wrote, that I write, I recently wrote an article about comparing Harley's, feminist motivations and saying arguably that she was more of a feminist icon than even Wonder Woman was. And again, this is just an opinion, and I will link that article down below if you want to go read it and tell me how wrong I am or how right I am or whatever. I love a good debate, but the early New 52 Harley, where they went way like
it was it was a corset and Daisy Dukes, and it looked.
Harley's a crazy bitch. I'll give her that. Like, she's nuts. Yeah. I could see her going out naked, but the thing about it is she's explosive.
Yeah. It really left. I don't know what it is about that particular look of Harley, but I mean, it just, doesn't look like classic Harley, which I kind of like redesigns on costumes sometimes, but this Harley one I don't think worked. And it just lost something in it. I don't know what it was. I can't exactly.
The innocence of the character, the shtick, the real classic, like, one of the things that was always so great about the classic Harley. Now, don't get me wrong, I actually don't mind the New 52 Harley. I like the look that she's getting away from the Joker, and she's getting away from these, I understand what they're trying to do, and I give the artists and the writers props for going there and for trying to do that. That being said, I wish that they would have not gone so drastic.
Yeah. They could have kept the personality change the same, but just that costume change was a bad call.
Well, I mean, even just going to the corset that she's in now with the pants, that would have been awesome.
Yeah, it's just something about the short shorts. I think that's really what it is. I think the short shorts didn't work.
She looked like a Bridge and Tunnel girl, honestly. Like, she looked like she belonged in a Kevin Smith film.
Yeah.
And again, moving into this, we're going to talk about the Scarlet Witch.
Yeah. Now, did we... No, we didn't. Okay. Scarlet Witch... Again, generally, it really doesn't matter version here. You're talking a corset top in almost all of them, and then it ranges from pants to underwear for the bottom.
Yeah, no, I mean, some part of her anatomy would be flopping out.
Yeah, it is just it's a weird look. I thought maybe Ultimate Scarlet Witch was the closest to getting it right, but it's a character I have just always thought has not had a good look to her. I mean, case in point, in the upcoming Avengers Age of Ultron, she's just in a skirt and a red jacket.
She looks like a college girl cosplaying sexy Little Red Riding Hood.
Yeah, I don't know. It's Scarlet Witch's look I've just never liked, and it's never been. Again, when I think of practicality for a character that can be shot, and even with Scarlet Witch, yes, I know she can change the probability that a bullet would never hit her. It's still a matter of there's so much that's exposed and unprotected, and you're fighting things that are, you're going up against Magneto, who's going to try and crush you with a planet. Wear some armor. Wear something protective.
Now, and again, for all of you out there going, oh no, the tits are a distraction. Is it really a distraction if you do it every time?
Yeah, I think that supervillains would be so desensitized to tits that it's not a distraction anymore.
Yeah, can you imagine the stuff that they got to look at to get off? Like, what places in the internet do they have to go to?
Oh, they go to the dark places of the internet, I guarantee you.
Yeah. We're going to talk about one specific Jean Grey outfit. The whatever that 1970s fiasco was.
The super short, barely over her ass skirt look. I don't... Because Jean has always been exceptionally practical.
That's one of the things that you love about Jean, and one of the things you expect about Jean Grey. You don't expect her to be dressed like a hooker.
And she was straight 70s, go-go dancer, hooker style. Like Austin Powers would have been hitting on that dress, just because of the way she wore it. It's a terrible look. It's one of those one-offs, but I know this one lasted longer. This was not a one-issue look. And it was not a good look for how long it lasted.
Okay, we gotta talk about Emma Frost here. We really do. She's almost always just almost naked.
Most of the time, damn near buck-ass naked. Now, Emma Frost gets a little bit of a pass because she can turn into Diamond. She can become invulnerable. So there is a point where you go, okay, she doesn't necessarily need clothing. But at the same time, she
still has to fit into the society.
Yeah.
She has to...
that's the thing. She could never walk down the street in what she wears. And it's...
God, I think I saw one iteration where it was basically just pasties and panties.
Yeah, the X doesn't even always close all the way. It's bad. It can be very, very bad.
Yeah. Alright, we gotta talk about Psylocke and Elektra here.
Ninjas in high heels.
What in the actual fuck, guys?
Because really? You can do some good sneaking in high heels.
It's like a Draenei or a Tauren rogue. Jesus Christ. Yeah.
Yeah. And, they wear... Psylocke's worn anywhere from a black to a purple, and Elektra's generally a red. Not a...
No,
the black and the blue, maybe you could blend into the background, but then you're exposing your
face
arms.
Isn't covered, really, that is the most unconvincing ninja outfit possible. You're supposed to be about subtlety, and you're in fucking high heels and bright colors. Ladies, you're doing it wrong.
Yeah, and as Tannen always says, never sharpen your size. Elektra never learned that lesson.
No, bitch would be killing herself and 12 other people, and not in the right way.
Yep.
Black Canary. Now, we have to differentiate the comic from the show Arrow, because they actually fixed it in the show.
The show, it's a practical costume. I was actually impressed. Don't get me wrong, I would have loved to have seen Laurel in some fishnets, but...
Oh, I would have loved to see Sarah in some fishnets, too. Girl got some ass on her.
But... in both cases, again, we're talking street-level heroes. Heroes with no powers. Heroes that, if they get shot, they will die. And so the Black Canary look has always...
really perplexed me.
Yeah. Because, again, it's a corset top.
She basically looks like a Playboy bunny.
Yeah. She's a Playboy bunny with a jacket. And even in, some iterations, she has a superpower of screaming. And some she doesn't.
And some it's a device.
Yeah, but it's still, she's always been very shootable.
Yeah.
So I've never, again, if, I think of heroes like Green Arrow, and yeah, it looks like leather, but I could imagine maybe there's some protective Kevlar under that.
Or, he is again, it's arguably like it is with Batman, where his superpower is money.
Yeah.
We don't know what that is. We don't know anything about what that is. We just know that, like, we know that it protects him. And look, he's all covered.
Yeah.
Because he's a ninja.
Yeah.
And he's not wearing heels. Now, there's a couple that I'm sure you're probably wondering, why was this person not on this list? The main one that I know that I'm going to hear about is Poison Ivy.
Yeah. And...
we know she's basically a naked, crazy Becky Go terrorist.
Yes. But that kind of works with her character, and it's the reason we didn't add it. Her almost nakedness is because she's so tied to nature. It makes sense for her to be that way. Well, and she can
control everything.
Yeah.
She's doing it deliberately. This one is one where she's doing it deliberately to get inside your head.
Yeah. So I've always been okay with... In fact, in the New 52, she's almost completely covered now. She wears a spandex suit, and then the ivy kind of grows over it. And I just don't think it works for her. I really think this is one of the characters where...
that needs to be naked.
Nudity works.
Yeah.
And again, not in a sexist way. It's just that's the character. I associate Ivy as nature and raw and nudity being up front.
Yeah. And then the other one that we wanted to talk about was Zatanna, because we talked a lot about corset tops and fishnets and, you know, all of this other stuff, but this is Zatanna's profession. Like,
yes.
She's a magician. She has the top hat. She's supposed to be dressed kind of like a Playboy bunny.
Yes.
Like,
it's her, like, we made the argument you would never see Emma Frost walk down the street in what she was wearing. You would see Zatanna potentially, you know, on the way to work, dressed as the magician look.
Yeah.
So that always worked for me, and I've never kind of second guessed. And again, she can be shot, but I
don't think Constantine would ever let her get shot. But.
Yeah. John would mess shit up. I think one more to quick mention that we didn't make a note is Power Girl. Now,
Power Girl is a busty lady, much like myself.
Yeah. And really the biggest thing I think when we talk Power Girl is not so much that it's a one-piece bathing suit look, because she's basically Superman. She's a Kryptonian. It's the hole that's cut out in the tits. And why is that hole cut out in the tits? Yeah, maybe it should have been on the list, but it's at the same time, again, I'm giving it...
It's a minor one compared to some of...
Yeah.
Look at Emma Frost.
Yeah, I'm going to give it a pass, just because, again, she is invulnerable, so I'm okay with that.
Yeah, Taldris, I know you're watching this video. You wanted me to talk about New 52 Supergirl. There's not really anything impractical about it. It's just ugly.
It's an ugly look. It is not a good look. It's not impractical. It's just flat out ugly. It is a terrible redesign. And I mean, look, I know that, like, for me, when I think of Supergirl and I think of the best drawing, I think of Michael Turner.
Yeah.
And his was a tank top and a short mini skirt.
But again, it was iconic, though.
That works.
That's Supergirl,
on that kid. And again, we're talking an invulnerable character, so I'm okay with there being more. If you cannot be shot, I am okay with you showing more skin. If you can be shot, cover that shit up. Seriously, you're gonna die.
Yeah. And, you know, go ahead, leave in the comments below things that we didn't talk about that maybe you wanted to hear, or, you know, points that you want to see us answer, things like that. We are always, you know, fairly good about answering people's comments, and this is one where we do want the interaction. Alright, darlings. Anyway, was lovely to talk to all of you, and I'm out. Bye.